Brandon, welcome
How
to the
you
show.
doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
The Wallet King.
The Wallet
King.
King. The second greatest wallet salesman in the world.
One of our
second
dear
only
friends.
to Sean Frank, the CEO of Ridge Wallet, direct competitor to you.
Direct competitor. Both hold
Phantom
assets.
Wallet, Ridge Wallet. You can only have one.
Collaboration.
Yeah, we got him on the bullseye in the office.
Yeah, Sean, you're on notice.
Yeah.
What's happening? Where are you right now? Are you in Vegas like a lot of our other guests, or at the office?
Dubai or Monaco?
In San Francisco,
Cool.
in the trenches, so to speak.
The trenches.
The trenches of SF.
Yeah,
That's
that's where I'm from.
The
Awesome.
trenches. I mean,
why
how
don't you
are
give,
the trenches these days?
I don't think Phantom needs a ton of introduction, but because our audience is not super crypto native, it'd be great to give a quick kind of backstory on your history and then the company, and then we can kind of talk about a number of other things.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, thanks again for having me on, guys. And you guys have been on quite the crypto marathon today. How long have you guys been going at it? Like
It's
since
been about since 8 a.m. I think I finally understand it. It's like electronic money is what I'm getting from people. It's money, but digital money. That's my takeaway. So
The big takeaway from today
big
for John.
takeaway. Yeah.
Well, totally. Yeah, I can give a brief overview about myself, Phantom. Got my start working in Silicon Valley back in 2013 at Twitter, pre-IPO. That's where I cut my teeth on building mobile apps. Working on tech that reaches millions of users. Around 2017, was bitten by the crypto bug. So sort of like the white paper ICO era. Did a tour of duty there from 2017 to 2021 at this early stage DeFi startup called 0x, which is still very much around active. It's where I met my two other co-founders. And that's basically where we decided, hey, at that time, most used wallet was MetaMask. We had this kind of very unique perspective, not only being power users of MetaMask, but also developers in the ecosystem as well. And basically recognize that the number one problem holding crypto back today is usability. And the wallet is essentially the key to unlocking the ecosystem and supercharging everything that everyone had been working on. And so, that's when we decided to start Phantom. And 4 years later, Phantom is now the biggest wallet in the ecosystem.
What went into the decision making to choose Solana when you guys came out with Phantom? I know now you support a bunch of different chains, but I'm sure that was somewhat contrarian at the time, or at least, very early to kind of make a bet.
Totally. Yeah. I think the initial insight was focus on build a wallet that focuses on an ecosystem on an ecosystem that was not Ethereum. We had spent 4 years in the Ethereum space, and I think had a number of pretty interesting insights. One, MetaMask continued to be sort of this monopolistic product, and despite a number of different attempts, they were sort of everyone kind of understood, and it's not great UX. So obviously we should try to attack them by solving that problem. But despite that, it was very difficult for people to break through. And then I think the second thing was after spending a while in Ethereum, we kind of actually just got a little bit, I think, jaded by the culture being very dogmatic versus pragmatic. And not really emphasizing user experience, cost, efficiency. And so I think those two kind of insights combined, we decided, hey, how about we essentially create our own home turf on an up and coming ecosystem. That choice ended up being Solana. And that was all being contemplated late 2020. So that was pretty early on.
Yeah, a lot of people have flagged that dogma today. What is the shape of the Ethereum dogma right now? What are they dogmatic about specifically?
Yeah, well, it's definitely ebbed and flowed. I think from the very beginning, it was all about decentralization at all costs, and decentralization as this meme, which was attracted a number of different folks for a number of different reasons. People who were more anti-disestablishment, people who felt
Sure.
like the centralization was a method of security,
Sure.
and all of that. And I think that it ended up, obviously the spirit of it makes total sense and is something we should all be striving for. But I think in practice, the sort of decision by committee nature that kind of bred ended up basically fast forward into the state of Ethereum today, where it's like there's no really cohesive strategy, I guess. There's a lot of different competing L2s and different technologies, and it's the end state is it's very confusing and quite frankly just dangerous for like an end user to use. So.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Have you? I'm sure you guys have been hit up by a bunch of your investors, sending you tweets about pumps, revenue, being like, "Hey, have you guys thought about, doing this?" And from what I can see, you guys haven't built a launch pad to date. Talk about kind of how you view Phantom's sort of interaction with some of these new. We've had both the founder of Pump and Believe on today, which are getting quite a lot of attention. But I'm curious to get your point of view on how you think of that market or category evolving and how you see Phantom interacting with it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, really at the end of the day, it's all about tokens essentially. Tokens being this common sort of protocol and format that is emerging from the ecosystem, and then all of these apps sort of in this open and permissionless way coming out and creating different mechanisms for creating tokens. And so I think what we're trying to do is just ensure that users can navigate this new trend and meta like in the safest way possible. And that's something that we've done a number of times before, whether that's with the NFT wave or whether that's for emerging stablecoins and real world assets trends. And so yeah, I think we're just kind of trying to promote the folks to sort of easily discover and use these things. And yeah, kind of see how all the trends shake out. But yeah.
Can you talk to me about Apple's role in this ecosystem? I remember I first onboarded to Phantom as a Chrome plugin. I believe there is an app, but Apple has not been historically the most receptive to crypto native apps interfacing with all the different UI elements all over the phone. Coinbase was kicked out of the App Store for a while. They came back, and so what has it been like historically? And then
I love thinking about the
any...
Apple execs being like, "Wait, Coinbase does billions of dollars in volume, and we're not taking 30% on that? What are we doing?"
Yeah. But it feels like from the other stories that are going on in Apple world that there's a little bit more pressure right now than in years past to open up, whether that's the Siri button for other AI apps or the App Store with what's happening with Fortnite and Epic. Give me like the state of the union on how easy it is to implement crypto wallet features on Apple and where you see it going over the next few years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, interestingly enough, like when we started, like you called out, when we started Phantom, we actually started Chrome extension first.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty contrarian thing to do. I think it was kind of a mixture of a couple of different reasons. One, the predominant use case of crypto at that time, or on-chain crypto, being DeFi, and that being sort of more of a power user thing that people like to do on desktop anyway. And I think also the prevalence of sort of Ethereum as the main L1 that people were using. Ethereum is just not really compatible with mobile as a technology in terms of people who want to use people want to use things on mobile. They want things to feel fast, cheap, instantaneous, fleeting, all of that. And so nowadays, because you're seeing the protocol layer of crypto get an infrastructure layer get a lot more mature, now we're seeing a lot more prevalence of crypto on mobile. So I think in the next couple of years, mobile is going to be a huge story for crypto. And yeah, I think generally, personally, we've had a great relationship with Apple. We've never had any big scuffles or had the app taken down or anything like that. Like you said, I believe that as a general tech player, they become more open and are facing down a lot of competitive pressures in different areas like the Epic case and all of that. So yeah, I mean, I do expect them just very similarly to a lot of other tech players like big fintechs, et cetera. I do expect them to be embracing crypto more and more often, or sorry, more deeper, and and making it a bit easier for folks to deploy apps.
Last question on my side.
Yeah.
What is the state of SF's crypto scene today? It's certainly not getting nearly the attention that AI is, but is it alive and well, or are you traveling a lot and hiring outside of the city quite a bit?
No, yeah, I mean so all three co-founders are based out here in SF. Been living here for 12 years now or so. And yeah, crypto scene is definitely not AI, but it's alive and well of us, folks like Paradigm, Alchemy, some of the A16Z folks, et cetera.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely alive and well. New York is definitely another huge scene, but I think places like Miami, they kind of turned over a bit during COVID.
I love Miami.
I love Miami. I love
Weather is
visiting
undefeated.
Miami.
We're in the Miami of California. We're in Los Angeles.
We are.
What's
we
not
are.
to like? This has been fantastic.
Thank you for joining and capping off the
Thank you
first
so much. The
crypto
first
day.
inaugural crypto
First of
day.
many.
No, thank you.
First
guys.
week. Maybe we should make it weekly crypto day.
That sounds
not?
like
A lot.
a lot, but maybe quarterly.
This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah, thanks
us.
for popping on, and
Take it easy, guys.
Good luck. We'll see
talk
you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.